My name is Leo Brad, and this is the story of how one lie destroyed my family and how I returned to reclaim everything I lost. What you're about to hear changed my life forever. It's about betrayal, survival, and the sweetest revenge I never planned, but absolutely deserved. It was a Tuesday morning when my world fell apart. I was 19 years old, working part-time at a local mechanic shop and living at home with my mom and my younger sister Jessica. That morning started like any other until I heard my mother screaming from her bedroom. "My chain! Where's my gold chain?" I rushed to her room. Mom was tearing through her jewelry box, panic written all over her face. That gold chain wasn't just jewelry. It was the last thing my grandmother gave her before she died. It had been in our family for 3 generations. "Mom, what's wrong? What happened?" Before she could answer, Jessica appeared in the doorway. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying. "Mom, I saw something yesterday." My stomach dropped. The way she looked at me, I knew something terrible was coming. "What are you talking about, Jess?" I asked. She pointed at me with a shaking finger. "I saw Leo in your room yesterday, Mom. He was at your jewelry box. I didn't want to believe it, but the chain is gone." Time stopped. My mother's face went from confused to devastated to furious in seconds. "Leo, you took my chain? My mother's chain?" "What? No. Mom, I didn't. I would never." "He's lying," Jessica sobbed. "I saw him. I wanted to give him a chance to return it, but I knew he took it." I looked at my sister, really looked at her, and that's when I saw it. For just a split second, something flickered in her eyes. Something cold, something calculated, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared, replaced by those fake tears. "Mom, please. You have to believe me. I didn't take anything. Why would I steal from you?" But my mom wasn't hearing it. Her face was stone. "How could you, Leo? After everything I've done for you? Your own grandmother's chain?" "I didn't take it. Jessica is lying." "Don't you dare blame your sister." Mom's voice cracked. "She's the only one who's been honest with me. You, get out." "What?" "Get out of my house. Pack your things and leave. I don't want to see your face again." I stood there frozen. This couldn't be happening. "Mom, please." "Now!" I packed a single duffel bag with whatever I could grab. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely zip it closed. As I walked down the stairs one last time, I saw Jessica standing in the hallway. She wasn't crying anymore. "Jess, please," I whispered. "Tell her the truth, please." She looked at me with those cold eyes again and smiled. Actually smiled. "I don't know what you're talking about, Leo. Maybe you should leave before you make things worse." That's when I knew she did it. She took the chain, and she let me take the fall for it. I left with $53 in my pocket and nowhere to go. The first month was the hardest. I slept in my beat-up car, showered at a truck stop, and picked up day labor jobs wherever I could find them. I applied for 100 jobs and got rejected from 99. But that one yes at a construction company changed everything. My boss, Marcus, was a tough old guy who'd built his business from nothing. He saw something in me. Maybe he saw himself. He gave me a chance when no one else would. I worked harder than I'd ever worked in my life, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. I saved every penny. At night, lying in my car, I'd think about my mom, about Jessica's smirk, about that chain, and I'd promise myself that one day somehow the truth would come out. 5 years passed. 5 years of grinding, learning, and building myself from nothing. I went from construction worker to foreman to eventually starting my own small contracting business. Marcus became my mentor and helped me secure my first major contract. I lived in a tiny apartment, drove the same beat-up car, and put every spare dollar back into the business. People called me obsessed. Maybe I was. But when you lose everything, you learn that success isn't just about money. It's about proving everyone wrong. It's about showing the world that you're more than the worst things someone said about you. By year 7, my company had secured 3 major commercial contracts. I'd built a reputation for honest work and fair prices. I had money, real money, the kind that changes lives. But I never forgot. Not for a single day. I hired a private investigator. His name was David, and he was expensive. But he was good. I gave him one job. Find out what really happened to that gold chain. It took him 3 months. One afternoon, David called me into his office and slid a folder across the desk. Inside were bank statements, pawn shop receipts, and security camera footage from 7 years ago. There she was, Jessica, my baby sister, walking into a pawn shop 2 days after I was kicked out, selling my grandmother's gold chain for $800. $800. She destroyed my life for $800. The footage showed her laughing with the pawn shop owner, counting the cash like it was the best day of her life. David had tracked the money too. She'd used it to buy concert tickets and designer clothes. "What do you want to do with this?" David asked. I stared at that footage for a long time. "I want to go home." I drove back to my hometown on a Sunday afternoon. Everything looked smaller than I remembered. I parked across the street from my childhood home and just sat there for a while. Through the window, I could see my mom moving around in the kitchen. She looked older, tired. My chest tightened. I knocked on the door. When she opened it, the color drained from her face. "Leo?" "Hi, Mom." We stood there in silence. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. "What are you doing here?" "I came to talk. Can I come in?" She hesitated, then stepped aside. The house looked exactly the same couch, same pictures on the wall. But in every single photo with me in it, I'd been cut out. Just empty spaces where I used to be. "Mom, I need to show you something." I opened my laptop and played the security footage. Her face changed as she watched. Confusion, shock, horror, betrayal. When it ended, she just stared at the blank screen. "That's Jessica," she whispered. She told me you took it." "I know what she told you." "But why would she—" Mom's voice broke. "Why would she do this?" I'd spent 7 years imagining this moment. I thought I'd feel triumphant, vindicated, but all I felt was sad. "You need to ask her that, Mom, but I didn't come here for revenge. I came here because I wanted you to know the truth. I never stole from you. I would never steal from you." Mom started crying, real tears, not Jessica's fake ones. "Leo, I'm so sorry. I should have, I should have believed you. You're my son, and I threw you out like you were nothing." "Where's Jessica now?" I asked. She's upstairs. She lost her job last month. She's been living here, and I've been supporting her." Of course she had. "Jessica," Mom called up the stairs, "come down here, now." I heard footsteps. Then Jessica appeared at the top of the stairs. When she saw me, she froze. "What's he doing here?" she demanded. "Come watch this video," Mom said quietly. Jessica came down slowly. She knew. I could see it in her face. She knew exactly what was about to happen. We played the footage again. Jessica watched herself sell that chain, and the color drained from her face. That's not... I can explain." "Explain?" Mom's voice was ice. "Explain how you destroyed your brother's life for $800? I was young. I made a mistake. I didn't think—" "You didn't think I'd lose my son?" Mom was shaking. "You didn't think what you were doing to him?" Jessica turned to me, and for the first time in 7 years, her mask slipped completely. "Oh, come on, Leo, look at you now. You're successful. You're fine. It all worked out." I couldn't believe it. Even now, she felt no remorse. "Jessica, I slept in my car for 8 months. I showered at truck stops. I went days without eating. And you think that's okay because I eventually survived it?" She had nothing to say to that. Mom looked at her like she was a stranger. "Pack your things. You have until tomorrow to leave." "What? Mom, you can't—" I said pack your things. That was 3 months ago. Mom and I are rebuilding our relationship. It's slow. There's a lot of hurt to work through, a lot of lost time to grieve. But we're trying. She tells me every time we talk how sorry she is, how she should have believed me, how she'll regret what she did for the rest of her life. I forgave her, not because what she did was okay, but because holding on to that anger was destroying me more than it hurt her. Jessica? I haven't heard from her since that day Mom tells me she moved to another state. Part of me hopes she learned something from all this. But honestly, I don't think about her much anymore. My revenge wasn't destroying her life or making her suffer. My revenge was succeeding despite everything she did to tear me down. My revenge was proving that her lies couldn't define me. Because here's what I learned. The best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's building a life so good that the people who wronged you become irrelevant to your story. I'm Leo Brad, and this is my story of betrayal, survival, and the truth that set me free.